They had already decided his fate before he even opened his mouth, the murmurs spreading through the Apache camp like wildfire as the dusty cowboy stood alone in the center, his hat clutched tightly in his trembling hands, his clothes torn, his horse taken, his eyes heavy with exhaustion but not fear, only sorrow. To them, he was just another outsider, another man who had crossed their land without permission, another potential threat, another reason to sharpen their spears and ready their arrows. The warriors stood tall in a half-circle, faces unreadable, arms crossed, while elders whispered behind them, judging him with looks that cut deeper than blades. The chief sat on a carved wooden chair, silent, watching, waiting, his gaze sharp like an eagle's, missing nothing. The cowboy, whose name was Caleb, swallowed hard and tried to speak, but no sound came. His throat was dry from days without water, his body weak from riding non-stop, not for greed, not for land, not for gold, but for hope. When he finally spoke, his voice cracked as he said he wasn't there to steal or harm anyone. He was searching for a lost boy, a child who had wandered from a wagon trail during a storm 2 days ago, a child no one else would look for because they said it was pointless. But the tribe didn't believe him. They had heard lies before. They had buried loved ones because of lies. A young warrior stepped forward, anger blazing in his eyes, accusing Caleb of being a scout, a spy, a trickster who would lead more men back to destroy them. Another shouted that he should be tied. Another said he should be chased away. The chief raised his hand, silencing them, but he did not speak. He waited. Then something unexpected happened. From behind him, a soft voice cut through the tension like sunlight through storm clouds. 4 words, only 4, but they fell like thunder. He saved my life. Every head turned. The chief's daughter, Ayanna, stepped forward. She was young but carried herself with quiet strength, her dark hair braided, her eyes calm yet powerful. She walked to Caleb's side, placing herself between him and the warriors. Gasps rippled through the crowd. The chief stood slowly. "Explain," he said. Ayanna looked at her father, then at the tribe and began to speak. She told them how 2 nights ago, while gathering herbs beyond the ridge, her horse had slipped, sending her tumbling into a ravine. She had broken her ankle, unable to climb, unable to walk, with night falling fast and wolves howling nearby. She had screamed for help until her voice was gone. That was when she saw him, Caleb, riding hard through the storm, calling out a child's name, searching, refusing to give up. When he heard her faint cry, he followed it, climbed down into the ravine, and carried her on his back for miles, even when his own strength was failing. He wrapped her ankle, gave her his water, and stayed awake all night to keep predators away. He could have left her. He didn't. He could have taken advantage. He didn't. He could have asked for reward. He didn't. He only asked one question. "Have you seen a little boy?" Silence swallowed the camp. The anger faded into confusion. The suspicion softened into doubt. The chief studied Caleb's face, searching for deception and finding none. Caleb finally found his voice. He said the boy's name was Thomas. He was 7. He had a scar on his chin and carried a wooden horse in his pocket. He said the boy reminded him of his little brother who died years ago, and he couldn't live with himself if he didn't try. His eyes filled with tears, and he didn't wipe them away. Ayanna knelt beside him and said, "He is not your enemy." The chief closed his eyes for a long moment. When he opened them, his voice was steady but heavy with meaning. He ordered the ropes cut from Caleb's wrists. He ordered water brought. Then he did something no one expected. He bowed his head slightly. "A man who saves my daughter is not judged here," he said. "He is honored." The tribe watched in stunned silence as warriors stepped back, lowering their weapons. The chief commanded that scouts be sent in all directions. For the next 6 hours, Apache trackers searched places no one else would think to look, through brush, along dry riverbeds, beneath fallen trees. Just before sunset, a shout echoed through the hills. They had found him. The boy was weak, dehydrated, scared, but alive. When Caleb saw Thomas, he collapsed to his knees, sobbing openly. The boy ran into his arms. The tribe watched something change that day. Not just their judgment of one man, but their understanding of humanity. That night, they shared food. They shared stories. The chief sat beside Caleb and said, "You came here judged, but you leave as family." Ayanna smiled at him and said, "For words can change everything." And they did. Because one voice, one truth, one act of courage can rewrite fate. And if this story touched your heart, reminded you that kindness still exists, that strangers can become family, and that love can cross any boundary, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Because stories like this deserve to be told, and you deserve to hear them. Red Heart.